Hello, 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 all of ye beautiful nerds from around the world. How you guys doing today? And welcome to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live, the very best way to start your nerdy day. On today's show, I want to talk about all these reports, rumors, all the discussion about Robert Downey Jr. coming back to the MCU. Doolittle was a flippity flop. And now peeps be saying that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU. He's back. But is he really back? Is it a bunch of that biggity clickbait bullshit? We're going to get into that. I also just want to talk about, would we be okay with it? Would fans be okay with Downey coming back? Doesn't that take away from his sacrifice? We'll get into all of that. I also want to talk about some new reports circulating up about Venom 2. Is it going to be rated R? Is it going to be rated PG-13? Wait till you hear what AV-A-Rad said about Carnage. Pretty interesting stuff. We're going to save plenty of time for Q&A. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. How's everybody doing? I see you in here. I see Trinity. I see Kendall. I see Cody. I see Randall. I see Ray Hall. I see Marvel Maniac. I see Star Wars Santa. I see Fanjecture. I see Adam. I see a ton of awesome people in here. Yinzer Jim. What's going on, everybody? Alex H is in here as well. What's going on, everybody? How are you doing? Smash that like button on your way in. Smash that like button on your way in. What is the day 385 of quarantine, chat? Is that what we're looking at here? Oh, it's only been like 8 days? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I'm starting to lose track of time, folks. I don't know how you're dealing. I don't know how everybody out there is handling everything. You got to stay the course. You got to stay focused. Don't let it get you too crazy. I'm not too crazy. Are you too crazy? You think I'm stir crazy? I'm not stir crazy. Look, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you, okay? I switched the thumbnail and the Chet, this isn't the right, that's not the right vibe. That's not it. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, look. I'm not stir crazy. You know what I mean? I'm good. You're good. I'm good. We're all good. We're good here. We're good. Hey, you're good. I'm good. Hey, I'm good. You're good. We're good. We're all good. So I literally changed the thumbnail and the title of this video 5 minutes before we went live. I literally changed it. I'm like, fuck it. We're going to change the whole fucking thing. Chet was like, I don't think that's a good idea. You did all this stuff. I was like, Chet, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't. I'm the one that knows the things about the things. No, I'm not acting crazy. You're acting crazy. Look, anyways, look, guys. Here's the thing. I changed everything about 5 minutes before we got on, okay? Because there's a very... Ah, shit. Okay, I'm going to take this. Hello, yes. Hello. Oh, yeah, executive producer Al Schuler. What's going on, bud? No, I'm fine. No, I got plenty of sleep. No, I'm not stir crazy at all. Okay, yeah, no, I got you. Okay, all right. No worries. Yeah, I'll right, yeah, it's all good. Okay, all right. Yep, talk to you soon. All right. Guys, give me 1 second. I need to take a sip of this Taylor Lane organic coffee. I suddenly feel way less anxious, closed in. The walls are no longer closing in around me. Oh, man. I suddenly feel much more calm about the entire situation. Definitely not losing my mind. Thanks to Taylor Lane Organic Coffee, the official sponsor of the morning streams here on the Den of Nerds. Click that link. Maverick Pilgrim just put the link in there. If you're watching this on the replay and you can't check out the link, I'll post it in the description below, okay? We're working on a blend called Nerd Rage. It's going to blow your fucking minds. It's going to blow your mind. So make sure you check on back for that, okay? So check this out. Look, getting back into the calmer side of things now that I've had my Taylor Lane coffee. I changed everything 5 minutes before the show. That's a true story. And the reason is because I was alerted. Some people told me that basically what's going on is a lot of people are talking about how Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back as Tony Stark in the MCU. I saw that Everything Always had posted a video about it, and I watched a little bit of that video, and I nearly lost my goddamn mind. I nearly lost my mind. I don't understand. There's like zero integrity out there. Like, I'm watching this video, homie's talking about how there's going to be, that there's sources on this, and then like he goes in the most ass backward, hide the puck sort of way to talk about the sources. He doesn't even tell you who the sources is. He just tells you that the sources also had this other report that was corroborated by this thing and that thing. It's like the most ass backward, shady tactic way to hide the fact that the source is we've got this covered. The source is we've got this clickbaited. The source is we've got this clickbait. There's zero truth to it. Everybody's pulling stories out of their buttholes. It's the ass pull era. That's what we're in right now. And we must remain vigilant, nerds. We got to remain vigilant. Because here's the dealy-dally, folks. Right now, when things are going, all the news and everything is all kind of going. Al Schuler, what's up? I just got a call from you on the show. Glad to see you popped in here as well. We're in this era now where the news is going to start dying. You're going to start seeing people get a little wild, a little restless, a little desperate. It's crazy out there, but I couldn't fucking believe it. I'm watching this video. By the way, video's like doing very good for him. And you know what I mean? Like, honestly, I wish Michael all the success in the world. I just wish he would be a little bit more honest about what the fuck he's talking about. There's no truth to it. There's no truth to it. People think Robert Downey Jr. is coming back because, why? Because Doolittle flopped. People saying that Robert Downey Jr. said never say never on that Joe Rogan podcast. And that means it's happening. Motherfucker, I watched that Joe Rogan podcast. Robert Downey Jr. seems pretty set against coming back. He seems pretty set in his thinking that it would take a lot away from it if he came back. Okay? So basically, all of these reports, everything that's coming out right now, talking about how he's coming back, I think there's zero truth to that. I think there's zero truth to the fact that he wants to come back, that Doolittle made him want to come back more. Guys, Robert Downey Jr. is rich enough where he would never have to act ever again. Do you really think he picked the Doolittle movie as the film to do after Iron Man, thinking this was going to be a big success or be a big franchise? He even says in the Joe Rogan interview, they're like, he's like, I don't want to say that you're not taking it seriously. And Robert Downey Jr. literally says, trust that I'm not. Trust that I'm not taking it seriously. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm sorry, guys. I think all of these reports about him coming back and everything coming back is bullcrap. Now, having said that, we should talk about whether or not we would want Robert Downey Jr. to come back. And so I'm interested. Those of you watching right now, those of you watching on the replay, you let me know in chat. Would you want Robert Downey Jr. to come back? And as your answers come in, I'm going to speculate a little bit about how I would have him come back, if at all. Keeping an eye to close. Remind you to breathe, bro. You'll get outside soon enough. I'm actually going to go on a run after this. I don't know why, but I couldn't find this stream for a while, and I didn't get a notification. Yep. YouTube being YouTube, man. YouTube being YouTube. Look, all of you beautiful nerds, you just must know, the show must go on. We will be here streaming at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. The show must go on. And so if YouTube tries to hide this show from you, and YouTube would rather show you the clickbait bullshit stories from people like Everything Always, You got to do a little legwork. You know what I mean? You got to do a little legwork. You got to say, no, YouTube, I'm not going to click this thing that you have in front of my face. I'm going to go digging. I'm going to go on my own journey, if you will, throughout the internet. I'm going to go seek out the content that I want because I know Josh wouldn't let me down. I know it's going to be there. And we shall be here. So, Jason says, not unless he comes back as Sorcerer Supreme. RDJ, not really, but I could see them bringing back an alternate Tony Stark from another Earth. Yeah. Alex says, I'd rather we left Tony's arc as it is. That being said, if he came back via multiverse or such in 5 years, I might be into that. So, look, I think we're all on the same page here. And by the way, I don't think Feige is... Like, Feige's the type of dude, he would know this. You know what I mean? Like, I really do believe that. Like, he's a smart enough guy. He would know that this is how fans feel. And I think he's tabled. I think Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man is tabled for several years. Guys, we're not even having an Avengers movie. The MCU, like, they are convinced. Look at the way they set up Phase 4. There's not a lot of familiarity in Phase 4. It's all expanding out, introducing us to new, all this and that and the other thing. Feige is determined to get out from under the weight and the legacy of those first 3 phases. They had a great ending. I do think Robert Downey Jr. will come back to the MCU. After everything I just said, all the new reports are bullshit. But I do think he will come back to the MCU. I think he'll come back to the MCU probably in like a Battle World or a Secret Wars thing, much further down the line, where they will bring a lot of characters back. I mean, they have the perfect setup for it. But I think that if they brought him back in the next couple of years, that would it would feel too much like a money grab, especially like if the narrative out there is like, oh, Robert Downey Jr.'s movies are falling apart. Oh, the MCU is falling apart. I think we're done. We need to bring him back. That's terrible. Ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? Let's see here. We got a super chat coming in from Mahani. Super chat.
Quarantined out of mind. Bored AF is £15, my guy, for providing solid content.
Well, thank you, Mahani. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, my friend. And look, we're all going out of our minds a little bit here. We're all going out of our minds here. But it's okay. We're going to get through it together. Our minds will be put back together. Together. I think I nailed the pronunciation on that. You let me know, Mahani. You let me know, because I can't even pronounce, I can't pronounce anything. I'm literally probably one of the worst pronouncers when it comes to names that you possibly can. But look, I appreciate the love, my guy. 15 pounds is 15 pounds. I don't know what that relates to in the apocalypse. Maybe I could get a couple clips of extra bullets or something. Who knows? But I appreciate you, Mahani. I appreciate you. By the way, we're going to get into Q&A like hella soon. I only have a couple other things that I want to talk about, and then we're going to get into Q&A. I'm not out of my mind. I'm not stir crazy. Are you stir crazy? I'm not stir crazy. Put me on the big screen, chat. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not freaking out at all. I'm fine, guys. Look, it's all good. We're all good here. No worries. We're going to get through this together. What is this, day 375? How long have we been in here? How long have we been inside? What's going on? No, we're good. Chet, it's okay. Chet, it's okay. Take us out. Look, on a serious note, and switching to a more serious note, with some structure. How about that battle bracket? How about that battle bracket, ladies and gentlemen? I can't believe, and I love Luke Skywalker, but I can't believe that Luke Skywalker defeated Batman. And pretty handily, too. And honestly, and I really do, I hate to do this. I really do hate to be this guy, man, but like I blame Ryan Johnson. You know, like, look, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I blame Ryan Johnson. If they had treated him a little bit better, if they had treated Luke Skywalker a little bit better, it's actually Mahana, but that's all right, my dude. Mahana, I got you, Mahana. No worries, brother. If they had treated Luke a little bit better in The Last Jedi, I don't think we would be seeing this sort of consumer revolt in the voting. You know what I mean? Star Wars Santa says, well, Den of Nerds hasn't been all that friendly to DC, so it makes sense that more Star Wars fans vote than DC fans. Pardon me while I sip by organic Taylor Lane coffee and mull over that comment by Star Wars Santa. Suddenly, I'm way less apt to freak out about that statement by Star Wars Santa. I mean, technically, he's right. Look, have I really been that hard on DC? I don't think I've been that hard on DC. All I've done is say that they have no idea what they're doing. All I've said is that they've been screwing themselves over for years, that even their biggest success, Joker, that they think is really great, actually screwed more stuff up for them. It's really not that great of a movie. Again, it got way overhyped. All I've really said is the big future that they're banking on with this Batman trilogy looks like complete garbage to me, and it's probably going to be Punisher, Batman, lose all identity from what we represent in the comics and how we think of that. All I've really said is that the CW shows are way past their prime. DC Comics is totally done and garbage. All I've really said is a few different things about how I would much rather have Kevin Feige buy DC and Warner Brothers and Jeff Johns and everybody. They don't know what they're talking about. All I've really said is that they'll never hold a candle to Marvel Studios. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think I've been that hard on DC. You know? Let's be honest, Josh isn't real friendly to Star Wars lately either. Yeah, Cody, you're right. You're right, but I'm trying. I'm trying, my guy. You know what I mean? I really am. I'm trying. Because that Rosario Dawson news is great. And if they do get live-action Ezra Bridger in there, I mean, woo! Woo, baby, that's some hotness. That's some hotness. But anyways, guys, look, what we've got today... Because I'm trying to get over it. Luke Skywalker is like sweeping. If Luke Skywalker sweeps this whole thing, and by the way, there's a lot of people out there that are starting to think that we're going to get to a Luke Skywalker Darth Vader finale in the battle bracket, which would destroy my battle bracket, by the way. I don't know. I don't know, folks. Hey, maybe it'll happen. Maybe some people will really like that. Luke's on a tear. Darth Vader's on a tear. But today, we have Joker versus Golden Frieza. Today is Joker versus Golden Frieza, so you got to get out there and vote. You know? Maybe roll some dice for it or something. You know, come up with an interesting a way to decide, or maybe you think that it's going to be like, here's the thing. DC fans, you're probably going to get this win, and the Dragon Ball fans are going to lose their mind. How does Joker beat Golden Frieza? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see how people vote. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to do it. But I think that it might happen. I think that it might happen, folks. So, you got to get out there and vote. It's going to be really interesting to see how these final matchups go. Look, I'm not even going to tell you who I have in the finals. I've talked about it before, but, oh, man. I'm really pulling for my guys. I need... Look, the big matchup is Thanos versus Vader. Thanos versus Vader coming up. It's going to be insane. That's going to be a close one. Joker can't beat Frieza. Literally not possible. Hey, he could figure it out. Depends on what Joker it is. Because he could trick him. He could trick him. You know? That's the one way he could do it, right? Or getting some kind of poison into him or something like that. You know what I mean? That could work. All right, let's move on to a couple other things I want to talk about here. A couple other things I want to talk about, and then we're going to get into Q&A. And I'm relying on some great questions. Okay, so I'm hoping right now that many of you at home are doing like one of these. And you're just thinking of amazing questions. Amazing questions. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that in just a second. A couple of things that I want to talk about, okay? Number one, it came in over the weekend that Marvel Studios has delayed everything indefinitely. Indefinitely. Now, what's really weird about this is there was a report on murphysmultiverse.com where Charles Murphy got access to an email. He was asked not to share everything that was in the email. And now I can't find that post on Murphy's Multiverse. Okay? So I don't know where it went, but essentially there was a 4-week suspension that is no longer realistic according to this email that Charles got. The report also states that crew members were notified that as April 3rd, they will no longer be employed on that particular job. Now, I tried to explain this to a couple of people yesterday when I was supposed to be streaming with the patrons, and I messed it up, and I ended up streaming with a bunch of people here on the channel, which actually ended up being really cool. It ended up being great talking to you guys, hanging out, making sure that you're okay. You know, just talking about the state of the world right now. You know what I mean? Fucking crazy. So, what I tried to explain over the weekend was that delay indefinitely thing, that language, that verbiage, that's what happened to the Obi-Wan crew, right? When they got go home Rogered, when they were just told to go home, that's what happened here. So it's not a delay in the sense that, hey, this is our time frame, and we're going to pick things back up. It's like, no, you no longer have a job. You no longer have a job. You no longer have a job. We're no longer renting this equipment, shutting it all down because they don't want to just bleed money. And the truth is, nobody has a fucking clue as far as when this is all going to be. When are we going to be able to do all this stuff? You know, when are we going to be able to get back to normal? Nobody knows. So they've literally delayed, Marvel Studios has literally delayed everything. Not like a this, that, and the other thing. Everything. Indefinitely. So what does that mean? It means every release date that we thought we had for everything Marvel is now in question. Everything. Everything is delayed. We have no idea. So that's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? So that's kind of crazy. That's the first bit of news. The second thing, and I want to tell you a story because this is something else that's happening around the world. This is something else that's really crazy that we're all going to have to stay very vigilant on, especially us here at the Den of Nerds. I saw a report pop up that there were new comments that AV-A-Rad had made about Venom 2. Okay, now a lot of these reports actually came from websites in different languages, whether it be Indian or Spanish is the two big ones that I saw. I don't know how this happened, but this happened and it started sparking up all of these things where people were talking about, oh my God, AV-A-Rad made this statement. And look, I think we're all pretty sure that Venom 2 is going to be rated PG-13. Venom 1 was rated PG-13. There's no reason to think that it wasn't going to be PG-13. But I think what people were picking up on in that article was AV was talking about how Carnage, they wanted to sort of make Carnage a sympathetic character. That the best kind of villains are ones that you root for, that you can kind of get behind. And although he is crazy in the comics, he's also sort of has this cosmic thing going on. And people were like, what the hell does that mean? Well, you come to find out, folks, that that's actually from a Collider article that's over 2 years old. That came out in 2008, or rather 2018. So this article from 2018 was being picked up by junkets and news outlets from other countries, and they weren't sourcing anything. And so because they weren't sourcing anything, everybody just assumed that it was new information. And it sort of caused this rolling out effect where everybody was talking about this. And it ends up being from an article that was over 2 years old. And that's where we're at right now, where things are getting so weird. And I think people are sort of getting desperate for scoops and, desperate for news and stuff like that. And I think that we're just going to have to be vigilant and keep an eye on it. I don't see any reason to expect them to want to make Carnage a relatable character. That would be really weird. I mean, in a sense, he's relatable. He's relatable in the way that the Joker's relatable. Where it's like that crazy side of us. You know what I mean? That crazy side of us. But I don't think that's legitimate news at all. You know what I mean? So we just got to be vigilant, guys. We just got to make sure that we're really double checking things and trying to source them out and search for them online and see what's going on, because I think the news and everything like that might start to get crazy around here. Do you know what I'm saying? And so let's get into some Q&A. It's time for Q&A. I want to know what you guys want to talk about. What do you guys want to chat about? Do you have some questions? Do you have some answers? Do you have some theories? Do you have some speculation? What are we thinking about? Or we could just do a dance party for the next half hour. I don't know. It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. We could dance party if we really wanted to. Marvel Maniac says, would you be against having some of the Fox actors come over to the MCU and playing the same characters but not being the same portrayal? Much like the J.K. Simmons, J.J. Jameson. So I think that's a really interesting question. I'm interested in... I don't know if Feige would do this. You know what I mean? I got to be honest. I don't know if Feige would do this. He certainly had meetings with them. It's possible that could happen. But I don't think Feige would do it. But then again, you're right. He did do the J. Jonah Jameson thing, right? That's very interesting. I personally wouldn't be against it. I think there were some Fox actors that did a fine job. And actually, I think the actors that portrayed some of the most main characters, Charles and Eric, Magneto and Professor X, I think they were perfectly cast twice. They weren't just perfectly cast once. They were perfectly cast twice, which is crazy, you know? And so I would not be mad at either version of them. I feel like the younger version is the way to go, though. Fassbender and all that. That would be really cool. Oh, by the way, folks, I want to let you know, somebody just brought this up. Thomas says, Marvel went straight to VOD for everything. Would they still crush it? I do. So, Thomas, that's what I want to do for the community stream. Tonight at 8 on the community stream, I want to talk about Black Widow going to video on demand and digital releases. Should movies start releasing digitally? What do we think about that? Should Black Widow come out digitally? That's what I want to do for the community stream. So, tonight at 8 p.m., come on by for the community stream. But yeah, as far as Marvel Maniac's question, I would say I wouldn't be against it, but I think because we're looking at longevity here and we're looking at I think we should get new actors in there. Renee says, with the $2 super chat, who do you want to see as Ezra and Sabine? You know, it's tough, man. It's tough. I'm really not good at the fan casting thing, particularly off of the dome. A lot of people were thinking that the people that did the voice actors for these characters should come over and do these characters for live action. And particularly with Ashley Eckstein, that just really didn't make a lot of sense. You know, I mean, Ahsoka is alien, so technically they could just do makeup and make her whoever. But she's kind of exotic looking, right? And so I think going with Rosario Dawson is a great idea. With Ezra, you know, it's tough. I really do think that they'll go somebody with some ethnicity, somebody a little darker skinned. Maybe the dude that played Aladdin. I saw some people saying the dude that played Aladdin could do it. I think he'd be great at it. I almost want to say Rami Malek, but Rami Malek has such a strange, striking face. His face is so particular. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that would be the right way to go. I've seen some really good fan casting of Sabine, but I'm really just not familiar with a lot of them. So I don't really have a strong opinion either way. But I just imagine like Ezra, I don't know, as just kind of a charming looking person, you know what I mean? Like with like a friendly face, but that can get very serious and dire as well. But yeah. Let's see here. We got some other questions coming in. Other questions. Do you think if Marvel just... Oh, yeah, we already went over that. Is in the Sonyverse, really. The Spider-Man films are loosely tied to the MCU. It's a fair point, Trinity. Will Season 2 Mando lead into Obi-Wan? Or, as the Offspring would say, will they keep them separated? It's hard to say. It's hard to say what their plans are for all of that stuff, right? I mean, like, I'm still under the impression that Obi-Wan, although it's being worked on, might end up as a movie. It could seriously end up as a film. You know what I mean? They might want to do that. There's literally been talk that they'll do a film Disney Plus combo thing, which is so weird to me, but it's actually on the table, right? So that's something that they're talking about. Yeah, I would say why not? I would say connect them. And a lot of people are reporting that Rosario Dawson is playing Ahsoka for a lot of different things in live action. So it's not just this appearance. She could be in her own show. She could show up in Obi-Wan. There's all sorts of things they could do with Ahsoka, right? So I would say, yeah, cross them over a little bit. If Charlie Cox Daredevil was in Spider-Man 3, who would be the next Netflix character to make the jump? I got to be honest with you, Rob Van Cam. I do not believe that. I do not think Charlie Cox is going to be Daredevil in Spider-Man 3. I do not think so. Could be cool. I wouldn't mind it, but I highly, highly doubt it. I've been talking about this for a while. There is no way any of these films will bring in the kind of money they do at the theater. A small film, sure. A blockbuster, no. I don't know if I agree with that, Trinity. I don't know if I agree with that only because I think you're still working off an older paradigm. Basically, if the option was that it could go into... I mean, like, look, think about it this way. Let's break it down like this. If they put it out in theaters right now, literally, like, nobody's going to watch it. Because they technically can't. All the theaters are closed and all that shit, right? So, given the circumstance now, this is what you have to think about if you're Disney. It's not just... Because the world might not go back to just fucking normal, even after a couple of months. Are people really going to have the money to just go out and go to the theater and watch all these movies? You know what I mean? If the economy grinds to a halt for a couple of months, are we all going to have the money and the time and the energy to go out and just go to the theaters and do all that? So what if that's not even an option anymore? What if, like, even now the theatrical release of all these films, and we'd love to believe everything will be back to normal, everybody will want to rush out and spend their money, but what if they don't have any money? I think if you released it right now on video on demand, you would make a ton of money. A ton of money. Because everybody's cooped up, everybody has to stay at home. I think you'd make a ton of money. So I think you're right if we're living in a world... If we're living in 2019. If we're living in 2019, you're 100% right. That movie will crush in theaters. It will not make the same money on demand. But we are not living in that world anymore. And I just don't know if it's the same. I want to go to Jason's question here because I think this is really interesting. If season 2 of Mando has wrapped shooting, how could they announce Rosario Dawson has been cast as Ahsoka? How big of a role do you think she'll play in the series? Well. The rumor is right now that it's only one episode. Potentially in the back half of the season. And so I think they did wrap on Mando. Although I gotta dig in a little bit more and do the research here because I believe they wrapped Mandalorian season 2, or at least many of the actors have. Maybe it's not that the whole show is wrapped, but many of the main actors have wrapped. Because I think Cara Dune is done. I believe many other people are done as well, but I don't know if they had an official wrap party. That's something we got to look into. But as I was explaining yesterday, the way they shoot that show is all on a soundstage. I think, if anything, they could be doing some pickups or a few scenes here and there. It's also possible Rosario was cast a long time ago. And Rosario's already done her stuff for season 2. That's also possible. Just found out a $40K insurance account called in October. Fucking customer kept forgetting to pay their bills. Yikes. Yikes. So Mando's leaking out? People aren't freaking out? Hang on. I think I'm a little bit behind. The actor plays Ezra looks like his character. Yeah, no, I agree. The voice actor for Ezra is actually pretty good. The witch girl from Runaways could be Sabine. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, all these people that think that Ashley Eckstein could have nailed it as Ahsoka, like, nah. Nah. Is it a good idea to avoid mung root powder? Yeah, I would. I would definitely avoid it. I have a couple of friends that wouldn't do that. I do not in any way think they would kill off Ahsoka. Nah, if they kill off Ahsoka, they're real dumb. Avengers video game. Gonna be worth it to buy? Probably fucking not. I don't think so. And it's not just my opinion either. There's a lot of people that are like in the know with gaming. That look, the big thing with the game is like, what is this fucking game? You know what I mean? To talk about the Avengers game for a second, the whole thing is like, what is the game? Is it a single player game that has this really well crafted story that's going to be great and we're all going to love this story? Or is it the live service thing? How does the live service stuff interact with your main story? Is there a crossover? Can you do the main story in the co-op mode or not? These questions have not been answered. These questions have not been answered. Ooh, favorite all-time comic book stories? Oh my God, that's really tough, man. One of my favorite stories is there's a Superman story called fuck, what's the name of that story? The man who there was a version of it they did with the man who, what do you get for the man who has everything? There was like a version of it. I have the freaking comic over there. I can Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, I believe is what it's called. Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, I think is one of them. I really like Blackest Night. Watchmen, obviously. Watchmen is an incredible story. If you've never read Watchmen, highly recommend reading Watchmen. Secret Invasion is very good. Secret Invasion is really cool. I always go back to that Christopher Yo's Scarlet Spider run because I just love that Scarlet Spider run so much. Hector says, have you ever watched The Expanse? Just started it, and it's pretty good. I've heard it's really good, yeah. I haven't even finished all of Doomsday Clock, but it was cool when I read it. I thought it was pretty cool. There's a lot of great Morrison stuff. I'm a big fan of Morrison. I'm a big fan of Warren Ellis as well. So I really like a lot of his stuff, like the Doom 2099 whole big run compendium thing. I like that a lot. I like Jason Aaron's stuff a lot. So a lot of his events have been really cool. But honestly, the most fun that I ever had in comics was the 3 years reading up to Secret Wars with Jonathan Hickman, the Time Runs Out story. I just love that story with the like the Illuminati and the beef between Namor and Black Panther, and like Steve comes, like at one point Captain America is with them and they're like, nah bro, and they send him to like this alternate dimension and stuff because they just know that like his way is not going to work right now. All the different alternate Earths and stuff, and when Doctor Strange kills all the Justice League, that shit was crazy. Yeah, they're all real good. But yeah, so I really like really like Warren Ellis's stuff. You know, I've read a ton of his different stuff. I even read some of his James Bond. He wrote a couple James Bond issues for IDW, I believe. And I read some of that. Man, The Authority? I really liked The Authority. The Authority was great. Yeah. Yeah, Authority was great. How do you see the video game industry will be affected by people staying home? Do you see PlayStation reducing its price, its network services to keep those out of work happy? Maybe. It's going to be interesting to see. I've heard some stories that they might delay. Yo, All-Star Superman is a brilliant fucking story. Yes, that's some Grant Morrison. That's one of Grant Morrison's greatest stories. Yeah, it's a great story, Trev. It's going to be interesting to see if the PlayStation 5 and the next Xbox Series X, if they release on time at the end of this year. And then it's like, does everybody have money for those? Right? And I think Microsoft did the smart move where there's no exclusive games to the Series X. Microsoft has really taken a turn towards consumerism. And if you play Microsoft stuff, you can play through Cloud X. You can play on your Xbox that you have now, PC. So they're trying to get it so that everybody can play all the Xbox games, and even like the new Halo and stuff. It's going to be cross-platform. It's going to be cross-platform from, like, you're basically like, I'll be able to play, like, if I don't get the new Xbox, I'll be able to play the new Halo with people that have the new Xbox. And I believe it'll be coming out on PC as well. But it is going to be interesting to see how the video game industry is impacted by this. I'm not sure. Do you think that a live-action DBZ movie will work now that movies like Endgame and Ragnarok worked so well? What I would rather have DBZ, and I know there's a lot of awesome stuff going on with like fan films with Dragon Ball and all sorts of stuff like that. I would much rather have them actually just worry about the anime and manga, but just expand. Allow the stories to expand and really allow that whole world to expand. Like, I would read a manga or watch an anime that was just like Krillin being a police officer doing slice of life stuff. I would watch that, right? Doing like Broly, like what's Broly doing right now? You know what I mean? Like maybe literally a Broly manga, or find some crazy way to involve all of these characters together, and then just get to work on doing it in an anime. Or they could really start setting up like real movies done in a really nice, concise way. You know what I mean? How do you think mac and cheese can justify $1 a box while Aldi's brand is only 33 cents and they use no artificial ingredients? That's a great question. I don't know, Jason. Quarantine plans. Watching the Palpatine saga in order. Episodes 1, 2, Clone Wars, 3, 3 Rebels, Solo, Rogue One, episodes for Mandalorian. Yeah, it's a great order. It's a great order. What Star Wars comics do you recommend? My favorite thing that's been done in the Star Wars comics, well, I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff lately, but one of my favorite things they did originally was the Lando 6-issue miniseries, which I believe was Charles Soule as well. But it's a 6-issue It's a 6-issue miniseries with Lando. It's dope, dude. It's dope, and you read the whole thing in Billy D. Williams' voice. It's very cool. But anyways, folks, we're going to call it. We're going to get out of here. I will see you guys later today. I hope you guys can come to the community stream later tonight at 8 p.m., where we will be discussing, should Black Widow release digitally? And I'll be interested to hear what everybody's got to say about that. So we'll be doing that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, working on like a Red Hulk video that I believe I'll be cranking on out for you guys. So, yeah. Take care of each other. Stay safe. Have fun. And, yeah, as I always say, I will see you. I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I will see you in the next video. Chat, play the outro music. I know you. By the way, why are you even here? I can't trust you when you leave. I don't know who you're hanging out with. Have you infected?